big job, need some caffeine. Going with the old school classic Mitch. I used to drink these like no other, the old school white zero. These are just like water. But for the boys, go ahead and pop the top. Ooh, yeah. We're installing a cold air intake, a K&N brand. I think it's a DNA brand with a K&N intake. Matte black. I'm really excited. I got the part over there. I'll go open it. We're going to remove my short ram intake and install a cold air intake. And then we're going to find out if the short ram or the cold ram produces more. The short ram that I had before produced 165 horsepower. Everything else is the same. Exhaust, all the same. So we're gonna go ahead and put this this new cold air intake, and then we're gonna get the video, or get a video next of dynoing the car. But we need some caffeine to get it. So for the boys, let's go ahead and here we go. Let's jump into it. And I hope you guys enjoyed that first clip. That first clip was the short ram intake, making some noise, getting some wheel spin. Front wheel drive with a little bit wet, with a little extra horse. It just ain't hooking up. It's fun though. It sounds great. VVTLI sounds great. It'll make a different noise with the cold air intake. It'll make some different sucking, noise though. Induction noises. So it'll make some new induction noises. So I'll install it, show you guys how to do that, and then we'll get some peppy revs and maybe do one more flyby. Maybe, we'll see if I can get that in. And then the next video is going to be us heading over to the dyno, and I'm going to get a dyno pretty early, 8 a.m. in the morning, and so cold air, cold everything. So let's go ahead and hit it. We're going to pop open the hood. First things first, pop open the hood. Okay, before we move forward at all, from an aesthetic standpoint, that is a short ram intake. It's chrome. Personally, I think it looks really good. Has a black intake filter, but it's chrome. The filter's chrome, as well as the piping is chrome. So there's a couple reasons why I'm doing this. One, let me show you this. The aftermarket, I don't even know the name brand of this short ram, but look at this, watch this. Uh-oh. Yeah, so I hope no metal pieces went into the 2ZZ. That sucks. That literally just broke off. It's pre-MAF right here, so it doesn't really affect the actual car running wrong or anything like that because it's pre-MAF. But if it was post, if it was like right here, there would have been some issues. It would have ran too lean, too much air. So what we're gonna do, yeah, that just sucks. It just broke off. I mean, I'm just gonna throw this in the garbage. No one wants this. What we're gonna do first is remove this, and I'll show you guys how we're gonna do that. So let's start by removing some clips here off of the 2ZZ. All right, so let's of course grab a 10mm and pull this off. Okay. This one, I believe I'm just gonna get a flathead. As for this little interesting air compartment, this thing, check this out. You can just pull on it and it just pops off. It's just a weird thing to cool off the ECU. I've always thought they're weird. And then there's like a little plastic clip that buttons in the side for it, and then that actually runs down in by where the wheel well is. So let's just go ahead. Let's see if I can pull this off. I think I need to loosen it a little bit more on the 10. So there, that's off. The intake is off. We're going to push right here on the mass air flow sensor. The MAF, you push down, wiggle it off, disconnect it. Very important part for these engines. And I do need to reuse this OEM Denso one right here. It's a nice part. This right here is an interesting plug. We're going to unpull this too, and the new kit came with one. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off like that. This is the cold air intake that we were removing. I really like this clamp, this hose clamp right here. I'm going to keep this one instead of this one. Here is what's coming in this new box. So it came with a K&N air filter. And it's cool. I really like this K&N air filter because it's round. This is really aesthetic in my opinion. Very unique, very interesting. It's pretty cool. It's even cut at a weird angle. I'm not sure why they cut it at a weird angle, but it does have a weird angle that's cut on it. So we'll find out. K&N right there. Pretty cool. Really interesting side. It's going to tuck up underneath here. That's what's going to tuck up underneath. So we'll go ahead and set the K&N air filter aside. Behind it, you get all the box, all the junk with it. Behind it is the piping. This is that piping. This is an interesting wrinkle black. Pretty cool. Let's look here. That's interesting. So they just welded that on. This is going to be a mount right here, and then this is going to be for that little plastic hose that we saw. Okay, so, and it does come with this little hose right here. This wiggles onto here, and then it'll plug in. So what else did we get in here? We got some bubble wrap. Inside of here, there is going to be, here, it's cool because this comes, look at that. So it's the same thing. This is the same coupling where it goes, I think, from a 3-inch to 2.75. I think that's what it is on inches. In America, they use inches on like everything instead of the metric system. And then here comes, they brought a zip tie, interesting. So I guess they want you to use a zip tie. I have black zip ties. And then I'm assuming this is some kind of the mounting. This is very interesting stuff. There are no directions how to install this. What in the world? So just a bunch of junk. What are these? This is what I'm going to find out what these bushings are. Very interesting. This is the mount. I know where this goes. I've seen this before. I've installed a ton of intakes, short rams and cold air. But this is all the stuff that comes in it. So let's just disregard this box and back to where we were. Moving that broken off 10 millimeter from the other mount that I had on here. It's 10. Removing this because it broke. Crazy that that broke. I just lost my wrench. Ah! Oh my god. Check this out, magnet. Ta-da! Cool. Okay, everything from the so this is how this is like a plunger thingy right here. It goes in. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see this? Yeah, yeah. This is where you plug that hose in. It goes into the bottom of this weird sensor. It's a PVC or something like that, or pressure control valve. They're weird. I hate them, but it's part of the emissions. Anyways, you have that plugged into the bottom of that. That's where that long hose. This is the hose that came with the other one. The shorter one, I think, came with this system right here. You guys can see that this one, which I probably won't use this one. I'll probably use this one. This is a nicer looking hose. This one's braided and this one's not braided. Braided just means you can see that there's little braids in there. Now, is it, you can get stainless steel braided ones where it has stainless steel around it, but it's still just a rubber hose. Let's go ahead and look here real quick. OEM airbox. That's what this came with. But it looks to me like someone already cut out. There's a hole right down here. So inside here, this is the intake. This is the intake. This is where the air goes in to the 2ZZ right there. Not the most exciting thing. This is a drive-by wire, by the way. It's electronically controlled, so when I push on the gas, this little thing tells it to open up the throttle. Kind of cool. Instead of having a cable run up over, which all the older versions, the 2000 to 2002 had that. 2003, which is this car, the newer models came with this one. They're both responsive. They're both fine. That hole right there is cut out. So that's the wheel well right here, because this is where the that right there is where you can see right there. Right there, there we go. That right there is where the cold air intake is going to go. So it's going to go through there. So let's look at a bigger thing. So here it is from a wide. And I probably could just start slipping this in there. But it's going to wrap in like that. I assume it's going to go in like that. So down and around. So let's go ahead and try some wiggling and see how well I can do. I'm going to set the camera on the side and let's go ahead and do this. Set two side by side, so short ram and then cold air. Let's grab a Phillips head to remove that and put that on. This is called a mass airflow sensor. This one's very clean. Actually, it's not that clean. Look how dirty that is on the side. I have a little thing of cleaner. I'm going to go ahead and spray on it real quick. Now that I have this clean, I'm going to go ahead and set this on the cold air intake. And it looks to me, I believe this is going to mount like this. Yeah. So this will go like that right there. Perfect. Then we're gonna grab these little Phillips heads. So believe it or not, this is an old Phillips head. I'm removing them because this kit came with Allen wrench that are chrome. Cool, huh? Right here, that's cool. So I'm gonna look through the kit and that's also in there. That's pretty cool actually in my opinion. I honestly didn't think they'd give you any kind of hardware for that, but they did. So I'm gonna go ahead, and they even give you a little Allen wrench, that's pretty sick. That's aesthetic in my opinion. It looks really good. Let me go ahead and install these two. I love that. That is awesome. These are small touches that go a long way. They're so much better looking than those little screws. Nice hardware, honestly. Alright, now that we have the map on, we're going to go ahead and slide this in. You didn't cut that hole. I did remove this little ECU cooler thing for now. I don't think it's going to work with that. I'll show you guys this plastic. This thing right here, I removed it. It goes like this, and then it goes into the... We'll see if I can get it afterwards, but for now it's off. I also recommend plugging in the mass airflow sensor because it looks like it's going to be tilted quite a bit. Interesting. So we'll plug it in. So you heard that click, that's plugged in. And then we'll go ahead and tighten up these clamps. I'm going to use the other clamp real quick off of the old one because I find it more aesthetic. So we'll remove that off real quick. Okay, so I've finished installing it. Let's go over kind of how and what I did. This is more of not every part used. For a good example, I used my own clamps. I find these clamps more aesthetic, so I decided to use these two clamps right here. Those are the clamps that I used. I did spray this down with a little bit of cleaner because I always do that. I used my own lines right here, which you might already have aftermarket lines here, or you might have the OEM ones. The black OEM ones will just click into this. That's all the same. Now, you can mount this here. If I were to get a little bit longer hoses, I might do that in the future. I might mount that here. That's probably what I would mount. I'm not sure what else they were thinking to have mounted here. Maybe this system, but I'm not sure. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know what they were thinking about that one. Why is this here? It's kind of unattractive. I could actually like, put a badge or something here. It's kind of a weird thing to put here. You can almost even sand that off and paint it black. The piping then goes down. It's one unit, so it's not. There's no coupler, which is nice. Now down in here, as you'll see, this is that the vacuum line right here that goes into the intake manifold. The lower half of this part right here, as you guys can see. So this line right here is provided. I used my own again. They do provide you with one. It's a shorter one, and then they do give you a spot to mount that. So I mounted that like that right there. So it's running. I started it for the first time. It sounds really good. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick drive. But as you can see, that's where that intake filter is. I mean, that's pretty cool actually. If you watch the headlight and then just watch it right go down in here, that's pretty cool. I have a feeling that's gonna make some good highway horsepower, to be honest. It's not gonna be the best thing if you're driving like in the rain or whatnot. There's not very much protecting it, to be honest. Like even back there, you might even be able to see the wheel slash tire. So, I mean, it's high risk having it down here, yeah, for sure. But it just depends. It depends on what you want. And I like this one, and the other one was bad. This is very aesthetic. I have a feeling it's gonna feel really, really quick on the highway. But let's go ahead and do a couple runs with it, make some intake noise, and yeah, head out real quick. So the induct is right here right now. I can actually grab it. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna give some peps. So I'll give some full peps, and we'll see how it sounds. Ran it up, GBT alive, we'll go all the way up. But if you come here real quick, I'll show you. This is that cool thing. I like it. I think that looks really nice. It smells pretty good. I think it's okay. I'll go do a couple just pulls with this to see if it feels any quicker or not, but that's just what it is. Pretty easy install, to be honest. Custom, I definitely customed it, and it's in there. I mean, I'm shaking this thing and it's in there. It's a good tough fit. So let's quickly go and do a couple just pulls. I'll show you guys a little bit of the tack to see it accelerate. It does feel more peppy, to be honest, it really does, than that short ram intake. And then on the next video, I'll show you guys when we go ahead and do the dyno video for this car. I'm really excited to see if this produces a little bit more horsepower. I think it will. I think it'll produce maybe 5 or 6 more horsepower. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be the same. Keep in mind it is going to be a hub. So just like that, I'm going to roll the video out with the highway bull, and I'll see you guys next one for the dyno video. Holy smokes! This is so much faster. That was crazy. You felt that, right? That was beautiful. This is what a change. Yep, bingo. Oh my gosh, guys. Highly recommend. 100 to 100 out of 100 out of 100. Woo! That was legit. It sounds so healthy. Wow. All right, we're gonna do. We'll roll down and do a second and a third. All right, you gotta hold it there. Ready? All right, guys. We're gonna punch it in 3 and 2 and 1. Insane.